Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Excellence, and fellow bankers and members of the public. Now, I've been asked to talk about UTOKEN as a digital currency, but I think we all understand that the concerns from the banking point of view. I think it is wrong for a bank to actually talk about digital currency as a threat to the banking system. From my personal point of view, it is not a threat. I think the growing internet concerns will only allow all of us to progress further in developing our mindsets to accept digital currency. Now, our bank in Africa, I'm going to share a couple of slides as to what we try to do in Guinea, which is a very backward country. Now, we have not been developed for the past 28 years. Now, if you want to find telecommunication where you can actually easily call upon your friend over the telephone line, that's not availability in Africa. It is very difficult to contact my cousins who are living across the globe because we don't have proper telecommunication systems. So what we do as a development bank of Guinea, let me just give a run-through as to who we are. Now, the Guinean Development Bank was actually formed together with collaboration of the Guinean government. What did we intend to set out to do? Our main objectives were actually to find a way to sustain growth. Now, everybody can grow. China grows in the past 20 years exponentially, which nobody could understand. Asia took 50 years. America took 100 years. Europe took 250 years. So, even though we look upon the digital era, the internet has provided us a very easy way to access the information. I think that's core. I think to understand what digital currency is, to access which information and use for what purpose. Now, our objectives were very simple when we set out to do the development bank. We wanted to restore confidence. We wanted to build credibility for our economy so that we can attract a lot of investors to come and invest in our country. We are a new country. We had a new election, democratically elected president. So today, we have big challenges. We have a lot of agriculture produce, but we are unable to export any of it. Why? Because we don't have a community exchange. So we have to promote more sustainable trade and commerce, which allows us to build physical produce, intrinsic values in our country. Now, the same thing with the digital currency today. What we have to look upon is how such digital currency will carry intrinsic values. And I think UTOKEN, from what I've heard, is moving towards that direction. They are taking the initial steps. You see, you cannot be right or wrong in the digital era. The internet is free for all. To say that Bitcoin is wrong, to say that UTOKEN made a mistake, we are all trying as we go along. Bill Gates did not figure it out that he's going to have Windows 8 today, right? So technically, somebody must have a vision to start something new. And digital currency will facilitate, and we have seen it in Africa. I don't know whether people in Asia have seen mobile money in action, but I have personally witnessed in a very, very poor country and a very, very poor condition that mobile money has served the people. I'll give you an example. From our capital, a supplier of vegetables wanted to sell his vegetables to the outskirts, and the guy in the outskirts lives 600 kilometers away. How is he able to buy the supply of vegetables to his village to feed his people? So the invention of a mobile phone, which allowed him to do a transaction via SMS, allowed him to pay that amount of money to buy vegetables to be sent to him via a mobile phone. So if that is possible, then I do believe that the next generation of digital currency is possible. So my question is, are we on the right steps? Are we taking the necessary concerns? And the answer is yes, because the founders of UTOKEN met me about 3.5 months ago. They were asking a lot of questions pertaining to currencies, and I was very surprised because I've known the gentlemen for quite some time now, and they have never asked me about such things. The conclusion was to understand what is the current financial system which we live in. Do you think that what you have in your pockets and in your credit cards belong to you? Now, that question we can never answer because we are using a currency that belongs to a country. But if a currency belongs to an internet company that issues it, we are questioning the credibility. So by taking steps on building a strong reserves, I think UTOKEN is on its way to becoming a more prudent way of digital currencies that can be used in the future. Now, going to the next level is we have to structure our management and micromanage my finances for the people who are in a poor country. The distribution of wealth is such difficulties. So what we have to do is utilize the internet, utilize the telecommunications, and make use of the technologies today to be able to reach these people and help them. For your information, an average person in Guinea today earns $1,500 a year. If he doesn't work today, he has no money to eat tomorrow. So this is the poor fact of many nations around the world. So the multiplier effect, if we collateralize all the mines that we have in Guinea, we could be a very rich country. We could be even richer than most of the developed nations in the GCC. But the question is, are we going to develop as a nation using our assets to develop into selling our mining assets, or are we considering the digital era to be able to be part of UTOKEN and sell bonds for the future so that we have the money today to build the necessary infrastructure that we require? So we go around the world and establish partnerships. See, this is what we set out to do. We go out to do a lot of public-private partnerships, which allows us to move around the world to secure multilateral funders and private funders to come in to invest in Guinea. Now, we did a very significant thing this year. In 2014, Yang Zhou of United Development Bank, we sat down and had a conversation as to how the Pacific Islands and Africa on the western side, which is on the Atlantic Ocean, would be able to cooperate. And we have found a way to bridge together. Through our relationships, we have formed an opportunity to start syndicating loans, creating potential investments, and now with the cooperation of UTOKEN, we are able to bring in even the digital era to come in to crowd finance a lot of unfinanceable products. Now, I understand that everybody drinks water every day, but in Africa, we have to drink waters in the bottle because the tap water is not clean. We don't have the money to build piping, treatment, or clean water. So, with crowdfunding of the internet, many successful NGOs now have brought along $5 million, $10 million to build filtration plants in specific sectors and areas to cater for clean water. And because of that initiative, it has started an industry of producing good water in Africa today. Now, affordable housing was also a big challenge. We had so many people that could not earn enough money. We needed the international community to support us. We needed the World Bank to support us. But at the end of the day, what really delivered was the initiative of small groups of people like you today when you get together and put your minds together and you contribute to a fund, it starts the project growing, and that attracts investors to follow. Bigger investors like institutions like us to support. Now, we are very favorable in working to support UTOKEN in terms of managing its asset management. So we feel that digital currency has its future. And digital currency in this era will definitely prevail in the next 10 years. Now, Bill Gates may be an old man today, but I don't think he's wrong. Because 20 years ago, he was very right about the computer system. And that's where I was born, the X generation. We enjoyed the best technology, we enjoyed the best cultures, we enjoyed the best traveling, the best experience. And we are the people who actually contribute back to society today. The work that I do in Africa, I don't think many people would want to do my work, working under those conditions. We have gone from the fundamentals of agriculture because we believe that agriculture is still sustainable. There are 1.4 billion worldwide food, people of China who needs to eat every single day. And India is just as bad. Now that food must come from somewhere. And Africa is taking a leading role into growing that food supply chain. Now, we need to, in order to grow that food, we need infrastructure. Our capital needs an international airport. All right? We need to have a system where people don't fight over the wealth that is being brought in terms of investment coming from people like you. And that system is a federal agricultural management system that allows us to control in a localized economy to utilize digital currency like UTOKEN to pay for salaries of workers, to be able to plant paddy or wheat and generate exports. From the exports, we will be able to generate more foreign currencies or more UTOKEN currencies or more digital currencies that will be able to strengthen a growing country like Guinea. Our reserves are the essential point of our currencies. Maybe eventually that Guinea may turn its currency into a digital currency. It could function globally. It's an easier adoption. We may not need to invest more infrastructure. That could be a possibility, which is what we intend to study and analyze today, whether there is that possibility to become that. Mobile-based gateway has shown, not only in Bangladesh, but also in most parts of Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zaire, Tanzania, even Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire. These are places that you one day get a chance to visit and you will see the competency of people using small mobile phone. It could be a Nokia, an old Siemens second-hand from a developed nation, but not as beautiful as your Samsung and your HTC today. But they are making transactions digitally through mobile money. Now, mobile money is also a currency by itself. I can call it mobile currency of Orange Network. I can call it mobile currency of UTOKEN. As long as there is a platform to exchange payment gateway, it is possible to make that transaction. Now, why the world regulators and the bankers are concerned about this matter? One of the major concerns we have is, will this be stolen on transit? Just like when we transport money from the bank to the vault, in between we get hijacked, right? Now, on the digital network, we can be hacked. But security systems are in place. Security systems are being developed every day. So now we can recognize a lot of these digital currencies transmitting right now through IPv6 networks, which have more secure basis of transferring this money. So it's changing. Now, my question to the floor right now would be, are we going to stay where we are, or are we going to follow the changes? Most big bankers in the world, they think that they have to stay where they are because they are afraid of the changes. As a Guinean Development Bank, we like changes. We support changes. And we are very proud to announce that we have actually signed a fiduciary bank agreement with UTOKEN on the 16th of March. And we are very, very proud to be successful partners of this successful digital currency in the future. And we believe it can take form in the near future. Because we, as the bank, is helping UTOKEN to build its reserve. And as a bank, we do not make mistakes. We cannot afford to make mistakes. When we make mistakes, nobody pays us. Now, gold is an intrinsic value today. But let me take you to a little bit of diversion here. What about electricity? Can electricity become gold of tomorrow? Everybody needs to use electricity. Every mobile phone needs a battery. Can that be converted into what we call electro dollar? Could it be the future of digital currency? That's why we need innovative people like UTOKEN to take the step forward to explore. And by encouraging that exploration, we also form our guidelines on the line, following the internationally accepted standards to develop something that we all can use one day and not be governed by borders or political interest. The partnership with UTOKEN, we believe, from our development bank point of view, is key to understanding what the future of digital currency can become. And we are very happy to be a part of it. Thank you.